Some motorcycles become legends for their speed, beauty, or technology, but others are famous because they were simply too dangerous to last. They never made it to the bestseller lists, nor are they the bikes you see at casual biker meetups. Instead, they exist as little-known secrets whispered among the most seasoned riders. In today's video, we'll uncover 10 dangerous motorcycles you may have never heard of. From machines that were too fast for their own frames, to experimental designs that push safety to the limit, and even groundbreaking ideas that prove too risky for the road. Get ready, because some of the bikes on this list didn't just challenge the limits of engineering. They tested the courage of those brave enough to ride them. Vincent Black, Lightning Supercharged. In the 1950s, the Vincent Black Lightning was already one of the fastest and most feared motorcycles in the world. But for some daring riders, fast was never enough. That's when the supercharged versions emerged, turning an already ferocious machine into a true speed weapon. The stock 998 cubic centimeter V-twin engine of the Black Lightning could exceed 150 miles per hour, an astonishing figure for its era. But with a supercharger bolted on, the power skyrocketed, while the frame, brakes, and tires remained rooted in 1940s to 50s design. The result was a motorcycle that could launch like a bullet, but stopping it safely was another story. Only a handful of supercharged Black Lightnings were ever built, primarily for drag racing or land speed record attempts. The riders who tamed them were often not just highly skilled, but willing to risk everything for victory. Today, surviving supercharged Black Lightnings are incredibly rare, treasured as collector's pieces and as proof of a time when chasing absolute speed meant gambling with your life. Suzuki TL1000S. When it debuted in 1997, the Suzuki TL1000S was Japan's answer to Ducati's V-twin sport bikes. Powered by a 996 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin engine producing over 120 horsepower, the TL1000S delivered impressive performance for a naked bike of its time. Strong acceleration, a thrilling exhaust note, and an accessible price quickly drew attention. However, one technical feature turned the TL1000S into a silent killer: its rear rotary damper suspension. On paper, this design was compact and space-efficient. In reality, it responded slowly and performed poorly during high-speed cornering, causing severe rear-end instability. Tank slappers became common, especially for riders unaccustomed to its power. The result was a series of accidents, and the press soon labeled it a widowmaker. Suzuki was forced to issue a recall and fit a steering damper to improve stability. Today, the TL1000S still enjoys a loyal following, but it is remembered more as a costly lesson that high performance must be matched with control. Otherwise, that very power will turn against the rider. Kawasaki H2 Mark IV 750. Launched in 1972, the Kawasaki H2 Mark IV 750 quickly earned the nickname the Widowmaker. This fearsome title came from the fact that it was one of the most powerful mass-produced two-stroke sport bikes ever built. Powered by a 748 cubic centimeter two-stroke triple engine producing around 74 horsepower, yet weighing under 450 pounds, the H2 Mark IV boasted an incredible power-to-weight ratio. This gave it near-instant acceleration, capable of hitting 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4 seconds, blisteringly fast for the early 1970s. The problem was that its frame, brakes, and tires were not designed to handle such force. Under hard acceleration or aggressive cornering, the front end would lift easily, the rear wheel could lose traction and the entire bike became unpredictable. In the hands of inexperienced riders, the H2 Mark IV was essentially a rolling death sentence. Despite its dangers, the H2 Mark IV became a cult icon among speed enthusiasts. Many riders of the era considered it pure. No electronics, no rider aids, just you, the machine, and your survival instincts. Today, the H2 Mark IV is a valuable collector's item, celebrated for its raw performance and remembered as a vivid example of how power without control can be deadly. Honda ATC350X. In the mid-1980s, three-wheeled off-road vehicles were a major trend in America, and the Honda ATC350X was considered the king of the category. Introduced in 1985, it featured a powerful 350cc four-stroke single-cylinder engine with strong torque, capable of tackling the toughest terrains. However, its three-wheel design was the very reason it became dangerous. Unlike two-wheeled bikes that can lean into corners or four-wheelers that have higher stability, the trike's structure made its center of gravity shift abruptly. At high cornering speeds or steep climbs, it could easily tip over, especially in the hands of inexperienced riders. The result was thousands of accidents, many involving broken bones and head injuries. Pressure from the US government and numerous lawsuits led Honda to discontinue the ATC 350X after just 2 years, and by 1987, all three-wheeled ATVs were banned from sale in the US. Bru Superior SS100. In the 1920s to 1930s, the Bru Superior SS100 was hailed as the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles. It was built for wealthy riders who craved speed and were willing to pay for absolute luxury. Each SS100 was hand-built and guaranteed to reach at least 100 miles per hour, an impressive figure for its time. However, that speed far exceeded the safety capabilities of the era. Drum brakes, narrow tires, and primitive road conditions meant riding the SS100 at high speed was a gamble with your life. Even seasoned riders had to be extremely cautious, as a single slip or slow reaction could result in disaster. One of the most famous stories linked to the SS100 is the fatal accident of T.E. Lawrence, the legendary Lawrence of Arabia, who crashed his SS100 on an English country road. This tragedy cemented the bike's reputation as both legendary and dangerous. Today, the Bru Superior SS100 is an incredibly expensive collectible, displayed in museums and private collections. Ducati 500 GP Panta prototype. In the early 1980s, Ducati was seeking a breakthrough in Grand Prix racing. The result was the 500 GP Panta prototype, an experimental bike combining Ducati's signature trellis frame with a 500cc V-twin engine tuned for her maximum performance. On paper, it was a promising leap forward. In reality, the Panta prototype proved that power and stability don't always go hand in hand. The engine delivered more power than expected, but the frame and suspension lacked the rigidity to control it. At high speeds on the track, the bike often became unstable, especially during sharp cornering. Riders had to wrestle with the machine to stay balanced, and even a minor mistake could lead to a serious crash. Due to its danger and difficulty to handle, Ducati decided against mass-producing the 500 GP Panta. Instead, the company took the lessons learned to improve later race models. Today, the 500 GP Panta prototype is rarely seen, residing mostly in private collections or museums. Boss Hoss V8 motorcycle. Introduced in the early 1990s in the US, the Boss Hoss is famous for being fitted with a car engine, a Chevrolet V8, ranging from 5.7 liters to 7.0 liters, the kind you'd find in classic Corvettes or muscle cars. The result is a motorcycle weighing over 1,100 pounds, with power far beyond almost any other production two-wheeler. Instant acceleration, massive torque, and the unmistakable rumble of a V8 made the Boss Hoss a true head-turner. However, that sheer power and weight made it a serious challenge to ride. Handling the Boss Hoss at low speeds is extremely difficult, and balancing it at stops or during tight turns requires skill and strength. At high speeds, its huge torque output can cause the rear wheel to break traction if the rider isn't precise with the throttle. Despite the risks, the Boss Hoss has earned a cult following among those who crave uniqueness and raw power. Today, it stands as a symbol of the no-compromise philosophy, a bike not for the masses, but for those who believe that bigger, stronger, and louder is always better. Suzuki RE5 Rotary. In 1974, Suzuki shocked the motorcycle world with the RE5 Rotary, one of the few production bikes to use a Wankel rotary engine instead of conventional pistons. The concept promised smooth power delivery, minimal vibration, and a completely different riding character from anything else on the market. The RE5's 497 cubic centimeter rotary engine produced around 62 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed transmission, offering a silky smooth experience at higher speeds. However, the novelty came with serious drawbacks. The rotary generated significant heat, causing the bike to run hot, especially in urban traffic. Throttle response could be unpredictable, making cornering or sudden acceleration tricky for riders. Its complex cooling system, unconventional layout, and specialized maintenance needs also alienated mechanics. Buyers accustomed to easily serviced piston engines quickly lost interest, leading to poor sales. After just 2 years, Suzuki discontinued the RE5. Kawasaki Z1 RTC Turbo. In 1978, Kawasaki partnered with Turbo Cycle to create a factory turbocharged street bike sold directly through dealerships, the Z1R-TC Turbo. Based on the 1000cc four-cylinder Z1R, it was fitted with a Garrett turbocharger that boosted output from around 90 horsepower to over 130, an insane figure for a motorcycle with zero electronic rider aids. The problem was massive turbo lag. At low RPMs, the bike felt sluggish, but once the boost kicked in, power exploded almost instantly. If the rider wasn't ready, the rear wheel could lose traction, causing an unexpected slide or wheelie. Even more dangerous, Kawasaki didn't strengthen the engine to handle the extra stress from the turbo, nor did they upgrade the brakes or frame to cope with the newfound power. This made the Z1 RTC a high-speed thrill ride with serious risks, especially for buyers drawn in by the turbo name without understanding its bite. Only a few hundred Z1 RTCs were produced, and they quickly became legends, but the kind of legend even seasoned riders respected from a safe distance. Britain Vive 1000. In the early 1990s, the motorcycle world witnessed the arrival of something entirely different, the Britain Vive 1000. Hand-built in New Zealand by engineer John Britton and a small team, the V1000 was not just a motorcycle, it was proof of what unrestrained creativity could achieve. Powered by a Britain-designed 999 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, producing over 160 horsepower, the V1000 weighed under 300 pounds thanks to extensive use of carbon fiber for the frame, bodywork, and even the wheels. It also featured a unique girder-style front suspension and an under-seat radiator, all aimed at maximizing aerodynamics and weight distribution. However, these groundbreaking features made the V1000 a serious challenge to ride. Its immense power, combined with unconventional engineering, demanded elite-level skill to control. The slightest mistake at speed could have severe consequences. Only about 10 Britain V1000s were ever built, and they quickly became legends in the racing world. From classic motorcycles that were too fast for the safety technology of their time, to bold experimental machines that proved nearly untamable, this list shows that speed and danger have always gone hand in hand in two-wheeled history. Each bike here carries its own story of ambition, innovation, and the limits riders were once willing to push. While today's technology has made motorcycles far safer, these dangerous legends still remind us that speed must always be respected. They stand as proof that a machine can be both awe-inspiring and terrifying. If you've heard of or ridden another dangerous motorcycle, share your story in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you won't miss the next unique story we bring you.